I am Chris Watts, an American oil field operator, and I'm convicted of strangling my pregnant wife, Shanann, and cruelly smothering our 2 young children, Bella and Celeste, on August 13th, 2018. Despite maintaining my innocence and framing my wife as the culprit when questioned about the disappearance of my family, on August 15th, I made the harrowing decision to confess to the murder of Shanann and my children during an interview with detectives. Authorities later learned that I had been engaged in an affair with co-worker Nicole Kessinger. This revelation was cited as the deranged motive for the murder of my family. On November 6, 2018, I pleaded guilty to multiple counts of first-degree murder as part of a plea deal. Consequently, I received a sentence of 5 life terms in prison without the possibility of parole, with 3 of those sentences to be served consecutively.
It was a quiet summer morning in Frederick, Colorado. The kind of morning where the suburban calm makes it hard to believe that something dark could ever happen. But on August 13th, 2018, something did. Something that shattered the illusion of safety in one of America's quietest towns. Shanann Watts, 34 years old and 15 weeks pregnant, had just returned from a business trip. She was a mother to 2 little girls, Bella, 4, and Celeste, 3, and a devoted wife. To the outside world, her life seemed picture perfect.
Today's Sunday. Chris ran at 6 o'clock in the morning. What'd you do, 5 miles? Well, come over. So, you know, it's amazing what you can do with, how are you watching and you're sitting right here?
I'm right here.
Weirdo.
Her social media was filled with smiling family photos, enthusiastic updates, and heartfelt tributes to her husband, Chris. But all of that was just the surface. Behind the posts and the public smiles, something sinister was building. Chris Watts, her husband, worked for Anadarko Petroleum. He was quiet, reserved, the kind of man who didn't raise suspicions. Their house, nestled in a peaceful neighborhood, stood like any other family home. No one could have guessed that beneath its roof, tension was rising, secrets were piling up, and a deadly plan was quietly taking shape. That morning, Shanann's friend Nicole Atkinson became concerned. Shanann wasn't answering calls or texts. She missed a doctor's appointment, something she never did. So Nicole drove over to the house, knocked, rang the bell. Nothing. She called the police. And when they arrived, Chris was already home. He was oddly calm, smiling nervously. He told officers he didn't know where Shanann was, that maybe she went on a walk. Her phone, purse, and even the kids' medication were still at home. Something didn't add up. Chris made a public plea on TV that same day, begging for the safe return of his wife and daughters. But the cracks were already showing. His eyes were empty. His body language was off. And investigators? They were watching every detail. By the next day, Chris agreed to take a polygraph test.
Is your first name Christopher?
Yes.
Are you lying about the last time you saw Shanann?
No.
Do you know where Shanann is now?
No.
So, it is completely clear that you were not honest during the testing, and I think you already know that. You did not pass the polygraph test.
Okay.
Okay. So now we need to talk about what actually happened. And I feel like you're probably ready to do that.
I didn't lie to you on that polygraph.
The issue right now is what happened to Shanann, Bella, and Celeste. That's the issue right now.
Okay.
Okay. So let's talk about that.
I've,
I know you want to tell us. I can see it in your face.
Can I talk to my dad or something?
Hey, Chris,
They know I had an affair.
anything else you want to tell me? What's going on, or what happened, or anything? Or you know anything about it?
When we had that conversation that morning, it was emotional. It was told her about separation and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to protect her.
What?
I don't want to protect her.
You don't want to protect her?
I don't know what else to say.
She hurt him?
Yeah. And then I have to be telling her.
What now?
I have to be telling her. her.
Who, Shannon?
Like both my kids are blue and they're gone. And I'm just like blind to just, I'm not that person, like, I'm just like, she hurt my kids.
He failed. Badly. The FBI stepped in. The pressure mounted. And then he broke. First, he tried to twist the story. He claimed he'd seen Shannon killing their daughters in a fit of rage, and that he killed her in retaliation. But it didn't hold. It didn't make sense.
The most important thing, like, I'm not sure, I'll just wait for you to ask questions, but like, it's, I want them, wherever they're at, like, I have no inclination of where they're at right now. Like, I've exhausted, like, every friend that I know of, and every friend that I have has called friends that Shanann has that maybe I didn't know about, and it's just like, it's vanished. Like, she's not, like, when I got home yesterday, it was like a ghost town. Like, she wasn't here. Kids weren't here. I have no idea, like, where they went. And it's just earth-shattering. I don't feel like this is even real right now. It's like a nightmare that I just can't wake up from.
The truth was far worse than anyone could have imagined. Chris finally confessed. He had strangled Shannon in their bed during an argument. Then, with his wife's body wrapped in a sheet in the back seat of his truck, he loaded his 2 young daughters, still alive, into the same vehicle. He drove them to a remote oil work site, one he knew well from his job. There, in the shadow of the tanks, he smothered Bella first, then Celeste. His daughters, confused and frightened, had asked what was happening. Bella, in her final moments, reportedly said, "Daddy, no." He stuffed their tiny bodies into oil tanks. He buried Shannon in a shallow grave nearby. And then, he went back to work. Cold, detached, like nothing happened. Investigators recovered the bodies on August 16th. What followed was a media frenzy and a wave of horror across the country. The details were too disturbing to ignore. The motive? Equally gut-wrenching. Chris was having an affair. He had fallen for a coworker, Nicole Kessinger, and wanted to start a new life, one without his family.
Was revealed that Chris had been having an affair with a coworker, a betrayal that would play a key role in the horrific events that followed. The chilling details of this case, including Chris's shocking confession, are beyond comprehension. Was it premeditated or a crime?
Instead of divorce, he chose extermination. He wanted to erase everything that tied him to his responsibilities. The court proceedings were swift. Chris was charged with 9 counts, including first-degree murder, unlawful termination of a pregnancy, and tampering with bodies.
This is the heartless one, the evil monster. Who dare you take the lives of my daughters Shannon, Bella, Celeste, and Nico? I trusted you to take care of them, not kill them. And they also trusted you.
We loved you like a son. We trusted you. Your faithful wife trusted you. Your children adored you. I have no idea who gave you the right to take their lives.
With regard to count 2, as it relates to murder in the first degree, with Bella, the court is going to sentence you to life in the Colorado Department of Corrections with no possibility of parole.
On November 6th, he pleaded guilty to all charges. On November 19th, he was sentenced to 5 life sentences without the possibility of parole, plus 84 more years. He now sits in Dodge Correctional Institution in Wisconsin, isolated and hated, with photos of the family he destroyed taped to the walls of his cell. The story of Chris Watts isn't just about a crime. It's about appearances. How a man can smile in family photos while plotting murder. How a home can look perfect, even as it crumbles from the inside. And how evil doesn't always wear a monster's face. It can look like the guy next door. No one will ever truly understand what happened in Chris's mind the night he decided to kill his wife and children. But one thing is certain, this was not a moment of madness. It was a cold, calculated decision to wipe out his past for the fantasy of a new beginning. And in doing so, he became one of the most haunting murderers in modern American history. Now let me ask you, do you think someone like Chris Watts is born with darkness, or does it build quietly over time, hidden behind a fake smile? If you found this story as disturbing and chilling as we did, make sure to subscribe for more true crime stories like this. Stay curious, stay cautious, and never assume the surface tells the whole story.